Shabbat Shalom, Mayam V'Hayom, Shabbat Shalom.
To the Jewish community, Shabbat represents a joyful celebration and a well-deserved rest. It's an opportunity to connect or reconnect with our faith, our tradition, our family, our friends, ourselves. We have come together on this Shabbat seeking these blessings of the Sabbath peace. Help us to cast aside all worries, thoughts, and fears which take hold of our minds and hearts during the week, that we may renew our sense of wonder in the beauty of creation. Help us to rest on this day of rest, to hear the soft music of the universe, a source of infinite joy which enriches our existence. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives Sabbath peace to his people with love. Welcome, and thank you for joining us as our son Aaron is called to the Torah as a Bar Mitzvah. The term Bar Mitzvah is a title given to every Jewish boy upon reaching his 13th birthday. It signifies that he is now prepared to take personal responsibility for his own religious actions, moral behavior, and leading his community. Although no ritual is necessary to establish this duty, the Bar Mitzvah ceremony is a demonstration of this commitment. Today we bear witness to the future of Judaism embodied in a new generation. And just maybe to move away from the booklet for just a second, we'd like to thank all of you for coming today. If I mess up here, I said I was not going to wear glasses, so I'm going to try to put them on the airphone. But we hope and I and our family know that coming to a religious service on a Saturday morning doesn't rank all that highly on everybody's to-do list, let alone a Saturday that falls on the Labor Day weekend in Columbus, Ohio. So knowing that it's a schlep, we appreciate it because we don't come from a large family, so it's great whenever we can all get together for a happy occasion. We can give you all a sense of who is here today. I have a list. But we have relatives from Nevada, Massachusetts, Maryland, D.C., Florida, New Jersey, and New York. Also here are Aaron's friends from school. We have camp friends from Michigan. We have fencing friends from all over the Midwest. We have friends from Sunday school. We have our neighbors on our street. We also have lots of family friends that have been with us ever since Aaron was born. That includes Katie and Brian, Rick and Julie, Brian and Sarah, Sandy and Joshin, Andy and Jenny, Janice. It means a lot to us that every one of you is here today, that you came to celebrate Aaron's Bar Mitzvah. As my father-in-law Marvin says, right, it's a marker. Absolutely, it's a marker of anything. Another thing you notice, you might see names on the booklet here. Don't worry. If you haven't told you ahead of time, you are not coming up to read. Everybody's coming up to read. And especially for the kids and the senior citizens, turn your phones down, mute them if you can. Everybody in the middle kind of knows to do that. It's the other edges that I'm not sure. So going back to the booklet, we don't have a rabbi. Aaron is our rabbi. So Aaron will be leading us in our service. He is relying heavily on everyone's participation. As you feel comfortable, join us in prayer and in song as often and as loudly and as enthusiastically as possible.
Today is also a particularly special day for our community as Aaron will be called to the Torah for the very first time. As a Bar Mitzvah, Aaron becomes responsible for upholding the commandments. The commandments are symbolized by the 4 large fringes on the corners of the talit. It is customary at this time for the Bar Mitzvah to receive a talit as he begins his life as a Jewish adult. Anyone who will be wearing a talit, please rise and join Aaron in saying the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu v'tzivanu v'hitotef b'asis. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commands us to wrap ourselves in fringes. Adonai said to Moses, speak to all the children of Israel and tell them to make themselves a tassel on the corners of their clothes in every generation, and to put a blue thread on the tassel of each corner. Let it be a tassel for you. When you see it, you should remember all of Adonai's commandments and do them, and not follow your mind or eyes, which you follow in false worship. Thus will you remember and do all of my commandments, and so be holy before your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. This morning, as well as every morning, we wake to the wonder of life. We open our eyes, clothe our bodies, and walk again with purpose. We thank God for this world in which we live, for creating us as intelligent and understanding human beings, and for the simple things in life, our basic needs, our freedoms, and our strength. And we celebrate the joy and destiny of our people, Israel. Please join me in reciting the blessings for daily miracles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to think of creative and Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth with the waters. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who renews the youth from the dust. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, created in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, living me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who allows me to rejoice in my heritage. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. Modeh ani levanecha melech ha'elokeinu. I give thanks to you, living and enduring King. Everyone, please rise and join me in reciting the Bar. Baruch et Adonai Torah. Baruch Adonai Torah ve'olam ba'ed. There is no one who praises to, praises forever and ever. Please be seated. With abundant love, you have loved us, Adonai our God. With overwhelming compassion, you have dealt with us. For the sake of our ancestors, who trusted and believed in you, and whom you taught the laws of the Torah, may you be gracious to us and teach us well. Place in our hearts the ability to understand and to hear, to learn and to study, to observe and fulfill the words of your Torah with love. Enlighten our hearts with your Torah, and join our hearts with your commandments. Gather in peace in the four corners of the earth, and lead us upright to our land. Blessed are you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel with love. The Shema is the oldest daily prayer in Judaism. It is found in the Torah spoken by Moses and recited since ancient times. It is often considered to be the single most significant Jewish prayer. Please rise and join me in reciting the Shema and the Ahavta. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai God, Adonai is one. Baruch Shem K'od Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol ha'ava v'kol ha'shasha v'kol nevecha v'hayu ha'parim ha'elohecha
And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be upon your heart. And you shall teach them diligently upon your children, and shall hear them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and you shall keep them for forelets between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. But you may remember and do all my commandments. Be holy unto your God. I am Adonai your God. I brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. I am Adonai. Please be seated.
We continue with the Amidah, the central portion of our service, made up of 7 prayers on Shabbat. The Amidah is a summary of the nature of God, the complexities of humanity, and the potential for the future. Please rise. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Adonai, sitatai taf lufi yaki yotaka. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hamikor Hamara El Elyon Yomiyam Hasim Tobim Bekanei Hakol Zocher Haste Avo Levi Goel Yimei B'neihem L'ma'an Shemo B'hava Melech Hazer B'Koked Mashiach B'Koked Baruch atah Adonai, Begein Abraham, Begein Sarah. Please join me in reciting the English translation of the oath. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, great and mighty, awesome, and God, who fulfills loving kindness and is master of all things, who remembers the pious deeds of the patriarchs and love with the most King and Lord, we worship you. Blessed are you, Adonai, the shield of Abraham and the redeemer of us. Please be seated.
With love you sustain the living, with great compassion give life to all. You send help to the fallen and healing to the sick. You bring freedom to the captive and keep the faith for those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, mighty one, author of life and death, empowering us to make our life of infinite worth? Source of all that is, was, or will be, we call ourselves to awareness of your presence in awe and wonder. We remember your power and grace, the beauty of the world you have given us, the amazing diversity of life, the richness of the challenges of creation to which you call us. You remind us to care for and about one another and all creation, to be worthy stewards responsible for our part in the process. We are grateful for these gifts and the challenges. As we gather today, may we never forget your bounty and our gratitude, nor discount the challenges to which you continue to call us.
People of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a song between Adonai and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day Adonai rested and was refreshed. On this holy Shabbat may we draw nearer to life, to peace, to joy. May we find a true rest, holiness in our deeds, worth in our study of Torah. More than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat. Shabbat has kept the Jewish people.
Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst. Our prayers may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Therefore, we pray instead for strength, determination, and willpower. To do instead of merely to pray. To become instead of merely to wish. Our vision will become reality only if our deeds become.
We gratefully acknowledge that you are our God and the God of our people, the God of all generations. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imagination. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. This calls for our participation. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding views not shared. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. For all those who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. For all these blessings, we give you thanks and praise.
Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace.
Let us know enduring peace. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all people. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens cause peace to reign among us, Israel, and all the world.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech adon, lechol hashalom.
Please take a moment for silent prayer, either by reading the words below or with words from your heart.
When silent prayers are completed, together we say, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart acceptable to thee, may our As we sing the beautiful words of this song, Ali, Ali, let us remember those who were killed in the Holocaust, victims of this unforgettable crime. At this time, remember my great-grandfather, D'var Torah, who died in Buchenwald after surviving Auschwitz. My great-grandparents, Part and Paul and Rosie Silverlight, and my great-uncle Mac and great-aunt Helena Silverlight, all of whom tried in Treblinka. Let us not forget what happened to us, and that no matter what has happened throughout our history, we persevere and continue to live and spread our tradition.
Eli, Eli, שלא ייגמר לעולם, הכל וקיים, בישרו של המים, ורק השמיים, תפילת האדם, הכל וקיים, Eli, Eli, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of man, the sand and the sea, the rush of the water, the crash of the heaven, the prayer of man.
The Torah service. Please rise. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, D'var Torah, Baruch Shanata, Torah Yamod Yisrael, B'Kishato. The Torah comes from Zion, and the word of God from Jerusalem. Blessed is Adonai who gave the Torah to Israel in holiness. We now call upon Aaron's friend to open the altar.
Charlie, son of Ruth.
Stand, Leah. Exercise.
This is the Torah given to the children of Israel at Sinai. It is the archive of all the values, goals, and dreams of the Jewish people. It has been passed down from parent to child and child again. So this very day, and so it is on this Shabbat, that it is passed down both symbolically and actually, from generation to generation to generation. And so may it be for all generations to come. And let us say, Amen.
May your eyes shine with the light of the rise. May your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you see your world created in your lifetime. May you see your visions come to be. May you hope and touch every generation. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant with the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams.
Today on this Shabbat, here and in all synagogues around the world, we read the Torah portion, Ki Teitzi, which is found in the last book of the Torah, D'var Torah. Ki Teitzi means when you go out. It contains 74 of the 613 mitzvot in the Torah. That's a lot of rules for one Torah portion. Although we no longer adhere to many of these antiquated rules, Ki Teitzi sets the stage for evoking order, balance, and discipline, and justice in society. Most memorably, Ki Teitzi ends with the obligation to remember Alma and wipe out hatred from the earth.
Please, everyone, join me now as we call Aaron to the chorus for us. Yamud, Yamud, Bar Torah, Yamud, Bar Mitzvah, Yamud, Pesach Shalef Ben Abraham B'chai Leah, Laza, Laza, Danit Chazek.
Baruch et Adonai Hamurah. Baruch Adonai Hamurah Le'olam V'ayed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'karvanu mikol ha'anim v'natan lanu et torto. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Lo Tashem Sakir Ani Be'edia Me'ahecha O Nir Ha Asher Be'arsecha Yisharecha Be'yomo Titin Safaro Bilitavo Allah Hashem Ki Ani Hu Be'lad Be'nase Et Nasho Be'yikra Alaka Adonai Be'hayadecha Hey, William to Abba Albani, Divani, William to Abba Ishbahato, Yumatu, Lotita, Mishpat, Garyatam, Bill, Takabo, Beged, Amana, Buzoharta, Ki Ebed, Hayita, Bemisraim, Beiteka, Adonai Elohecha, Misham Alken, Anoki, Mitzadaka, La'asot, and Hadavar Hazeh. Zahor, Asher, Asarwaka, Amalek, B'Seichen, Mitzrayim, Asher, Karha, Baderet, Bayezanet, Beta, Kohan, Kashamim, Ahoraha, Beta, Ayin, Vegea, Belo, Ayin, Vegea, Behaya, Behania, Adonai Elohecha, Lecha, Before Oedecha, Kisabi, Ba'aret Asher Adonai Elohecha, B'Temuha, Nahala, Barishta, Tirha, and Zephyr, Amalek, Mitaha, Hashemayim, Lo, Tishha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam atah b'tokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
You must not withhold the wages that are due your poor laborer, whether he is an Israelite or a foreigner living in your land. You must pay him on the same day before the sun goes down. He is a poor man, and he needs his daily wages because his family depends on money. Do not give him a reason to complain to Adonai, because you will be guilty of a sin. Parents shall not be convicted on the testimony of their children, and children shall not be convicted on the testimony of their parents. A person shall be convicted only for his own crime. You must not deny justice to the foreigner or the orphan. You must not take a widow's clothing as a pledge for a loan. Always remember that you were a poor slave in Egypt, and Adonai freed you. That is why I am commanding you to observe these rules. It is important to remember how Amalek treated you when you were leaving Egypt. They watched you as you marched on your way out of Egypt, and when you were tired and exhausted. They killed those who were too weak to keep up with the march. They had no pity and no respect for Adonai. Once Adonai has given you peace for all the enemies surrounding you in the land that he has given you as heritage, you must completely wipe out the memory of Amalek. Do not forget, you must avenge yourself against Amalek.
Shabbat Shalom. The Torah portion I read was obviously Kitesi. Kitesi has 74 of the 613 commandments. And yes, there are 613 commandments in the Torah, not just 10. Kitesi has the most commandments of any Torah portion. Out of all of those commandments, I read 6. There are many rules in the Torah. One of the most interesting things the Torah commands us to do is all of the commandments I read today have a lot to do with remembering. Remember to pay wages fairly and on time. Remember that you are responsible for your own actions. Remember the foreigner. Remember to allow for their basic needs. Remember you were a slave in Egypt. And finally, remember Amalek. The name Amalek comes from the Amalekite people who were referred to us when we were leaving the land of Egypt. But what are commandments? They're rules. But why are they important? Rules are a way to keep society running. Without rules, there is chaos. Nothing can stop people from doing wrong. Rules are the foundation for society. Let me give you an example. I play an online video game where you join a team with up to 6 players from all around the country. The rule is once the game starts, no one can leave early. If you do, your team will have less players and it will be much harder to win. The way the game stops people from leaving early is they have a rule where if you leave the game too many times, you can get kicked or banned for up to 3 months. The rule causes people not to leave early, making it so the game continues fair for everyone. My game is a metaphor for society. Just like my game, society needs rules. People do not follow these rules, our family, our friends, and our safety is at risk. One of the rules I read was, when people do work for you, you need to pay them immediately. This is important because they need to get money on a schedule so that they are able to feed their family and pay their bills. So when you hire somebody, you are responsible to remember that person. I depend on getting allowance in order to do many of the things I like to do every week. Without getting that money every week, I would not be able to be with my friends, go places, buy special things, and have fun. The commandment isn't just about paying people, it is also about the consequences your actions have on other people. Another commandment I read stated, you must not deny justice to the foreigner or the orphan. This means you must treat all people the same way, even if they have different origins than you. People should not be treated badly based on their race or religion. Right now, there is still a lot of controversy in this country over race, religion, and sexuality. The treatment of Muslims, Mexicans, and gays are a very large issue, and many people don't want them in America. Whenever you see this hate, you have to remember that this command forfeits it. What is the importance of these rules? Many of these rules have different ways of saying, if you do not do this, it causes hate. If you were a person mistreated because you were a foreigner, how would you feel? How would you feel if you were a slave? How would you feel if you were mistreated because of what your parents did? How would you feel if you had gotten money but you had to give up something you needed? How would you feel if you could not feed your family because you were not clean enough? It would make you feel bad, and you'd have a lot of hate for the people who were causing you this pain, therefore causing you to hate on both sides. The last commandment I read is to remember honor. The Amalekites were cruel to us, the Jews in the past. But why would the Torah want us to remember our past enemies? We don't want the same thing to happen again, is the short answer. My family survived the Holocaust, and yes, sometimes we do not want to remember the Holocaust and all the bad things that happened. But other times, we know that we need to tell our children what the Holocaust was like and how it happened. We cannot let this memory die, or else the Jews and other peoples could face the same hatred again. If Amalek symbolizes the hatred in the world, then how can we get rid of it? There are many ways to try to get rid of this hate. You can stand up for someone. You can explain to others about your religion and how it's not so different. You can be careful not to spread hate yourself. Finally, you can show compassion towards others. I have done many of these things in my life to help people understand that Jewish people are normal people who just have different beliefs. I have done this by talking to many people about different Jewish holidays, the Holocaust, and even what my family does on the weekend or when I do for fun. I talked to my advisor about the Holocaust and how my Others survived it. Another way to stop hate is to show compassion towards others. When you treat people with compassion and kindness, it makes them feel happy and not hateful. One of the things the Torah says is that compassion is the best trait a person can have. Unfortunately, we know that the hatred has been around for thousands of years. I think that every day we should be thinking about what we have done to stop hatred. Remember to say to yourself, have I shown compassion to others? Have I stood up for someone? Have I done something to promote understanding of my religion? In the year leading up to my Bar Mitzvah, I have shown compassion by doing a Tikkun Olam project. Tikkun Olam means repairing the world. The Tikkun Olam project I chose is to get clean water to many places that don't have access to it, and are drinking dirty and unclean water from rivers and streams. Drinking unclean and dirty water causes diarrhea, which can later cause death. This is the leading cause of death in children. What I have done is I have raised money for Procter & Gamble to get many packets out in order to purify the water. The way it works is the packets coagulate the dirt on the bottom of the container, and then you filter it through a cloth like a coffee filter. From doing this method, they have distributed 1 million packets, or cleaned 10 million liters of water. It is amazing because those packets only cost a small amount of things. About $1 gives a child water for 50 days, $7.50 gives a child water for a year. In the year leading up to Bar Mitzvah, I have raised money at my school, the library, TBS, and even the voting booths getting a hold of the process. So far from doing all of these things, I have raised enough money to feed over 26 years worth of water. If you would like to look at my Tikkun Olam project and help me by making a small donation, you can find it out in the lobby. In conclusion, I would like to say thank you to a few people. First of all, thank you to everybody who has traveled to come to my Bar Mitzvah and hear me read from the Torah. I also would like to say thank you to Mommy and Poppy. Mommy, you got me to this day from sitting in the living room with the little JLP kids and little JLP group, and I know what you have wanted to accomplish has come true. We sat in the burning dark car waiting for Ruth to come home from school learning Hebrew, and thank God she would be late sometimes. You were able to get a tour from B'nai Abraham so I could read from the Torah. Even though we had many fights with me not wanting to do my work and you giving me candy definitely stopped those from starting. I also would like to say thank you to Poppy, who helped me with my speech and my service too, and also forcing me to stay on track. But the most important job he had was making sure that Mommy and I did not get into as many fights. The final thanks is to B'nai Abraham for loaning us the Torah to do my service. Thank you.
why they couldn't figure out which was the top end.
Please rise as the Torah scroll is raised for the community to see. This is the Torah which Moses set before the children of Israel, from the mouth of God through the hand of Moses. Eitz Hayim, it is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all of its paths are peace. Let us say. Call upon Aaron's friends, Seth, Charlie, and Lucas, to help us return the Torah to the ark.
At this time, I want you to share with us the names of those in need of healing. If you know someone who is ill and would like to share a name, please do so at this time. I'll cross my arm across and write the name as we go.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah Shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us sing Amen. And let us sing
our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessing for our country, for its government, for its leader and advisors, and also for all who exercise just and rightful authority. Teach them your insights that they may minister all affairs of state fairly, that peace and security, happiness and prosperity, justice and freedom may forever abide in our midst. Bless all the inhabitants of our country with your spirit. May citizens of all races and creeds forge a common bond in true harmony to banish all hatred and bigotry and safeguard the ideals and free institutions which are the pride and glory of our country. May this land be an influence for good throughout the world, uniting all people in peace and freedom, and helping them to fulfill the vision of your prophet Isaiah. Nation shall not live with sword against nation, neither shall they experience war anymore. And let us say, Amen.
I imagine it isn't often that a mother gets to give this speech to the Bar Mitzvah. Usually, at this time, the rabbi or the temple president comes up and offers their congratulations. Well, I'm not a rabbi or a temple official,
But you are a teacher.
and I'm your Bar Mitzvah tutor, and I'm also an overwhelmingly proud mom. It is one of my greatest honors that I have ever had to now present you with these certificates, Aaron. The first is for completing our Jewish learning program. And the second is commemorating this day as you were called to the Torah as a Bar Mitzvah on Shabbat Yitzhak in the presence of family and friends. Aaron, we've spent a lot of time together to get to this point. You have studied and learned and practiced, and we have done a lot of laughing together and admittedly a little yelling. I'm estimating that we had 106 lessons together, Aaron and I, and those are just the ones in the car. But regardless of how or where, I can tell you that I have seen you grow so much. Actually, I practiced this speech looking down like this, and now I'm really eye to eye. So I hope that's a sign of something that we're going to be seeing eye to eye from now. And I thank you for allowing me, Aaron, to teach you and share in this part of your development. And now I hope you go out into the world and seek out other patient and resourceful teachers and continue to let them into your life to help you achieve your goals.
For my speech, I wanted to talk about what Aaron is like. So having Aaron as my brother is great, but he's as gross as they come. And don't even get me started on sharing a bathroom with him. Most of you don't see Aaron every day, but I do, and trust me, he never ceases to amaze me with the trouble he causes. To give you all a taste of things that he has done, I've comprised a little list so you can see what life is like having him around. Before I start reading, I would like to make a note that this list is much longer, but longer probably maybe short. Significantly. So, number 1, the time he built a bow and arrow set and shot over 200 holes in the walls of the basement. 2, the time he filled my toothpaste with conditioner and I didn't realize until after I started brushing. And 3, the time he purposely put an electronic hamster in my hair and hit go. And honestly, when these things happen, it seems like it's the worst thing ever. But now that I talk about them, they make great stories that make people laugh, and it brings us all together. Aaron might cause trouble sometimes, but that's part of what makes him such a great brother, and that's what Mommy and Poppy wanted all along. For those who don't know, Mommy and Poppy named Aaron after Moses' brother, because he was the best brother in the whole Torah. Sometimes it seems like the message doesn't always translate, but when we all tell these stories and we're able to laugh together, it just proves how great of a brother he really is. But grossness and all of his menacing aside, Aaron has an instinct to be good. He is always looking for ways to help other people. Something I've noticed is when Aaron will be at a fencing competition and have to go up against a new person with less experience. Instead of taking advantage of this, he always offers words of encouragement, and sometimes I will see him give his opponent a point or two. Most people don't think to do that because it's a competition, but to some people, 1 point can mean so much. Along with that, Aaron has also done so many great things for me too. He has let me film him for my school projects, which he obviously does not want to do. He's helped me with my math homework, given me hugs when I was sad, stood up for me when I was bullied on the school bus in elementary school, and so much more. Aaron, you have become such a smart, funny, caring, and compassionate person who has accomplished so much in your life. And as every day goes by, you continue to make me proud to be your sister. I love you, Aaron, and I'm so proud of you and Melissa.
We look nervous for the last 30 seconds. We couldn't find his speech.
Aaron, you did it. Yay. I bet you didn't think this day would ever arrive, and I can assure you, you were not the only one. For those of you who have never been to a bar mitzvah before, you should know that Aaron has been working very hard towards this day for 4 years. Jewish kids generally take several years of Sunday school classes where they strengthen their Jewish identity by learning about the Bible, Jewish history, Jewish customs, holidays, and completing charity projects. The same stuff you would expect of any Sunday school class of any religion. At the same time, however, Jewish kids have to learn the Hebrew alphabet, how to pronounce all the letters, and how to read Hebrew words. Learn all of the prayers that you saw Aaron read today, and he did a great job of it too. Finally, as the Bar Mitzvah approaches, they learn how to chant their Torah portion from a scroll that has not changed the way it looks or sounds for a couple of thousand years. It has fancy lettering and no vowels, and it is not an easy task. Along the way, there are lots of tears, and not just from Aaron, lots of fights, lots of excuses, lots of procrastination, lots of candy rewards, and lots of accolades and prideful moments. That is why tonight there will be a big party to celebrate your hard work, Aaron.
Of course, what you have done, Aaron, is nothing out of the ordinary for Jewish kids all across the world. In fact, your uncles, your aunts, your nieces, your grandfather, your cousins, your mother, your sister, many others in this room all went through the same ordeal in one way or another. You share this tradition with all of them. What is unique about this tradition for you is how you got to this moment. You did not follow the normal path. Unlike most Bar Mitzvah kids, you didn't learn Hebrew or your Torah portion from a rabbi. Instead, your wonderful mother taught you what you needed to know to get you to this day. But she didn't do this by herself. She had lots of help. She sought out the advice of lots of different people and sources. And, no surprise to anyone else in this room, she did not take all of that advice. She listened to it all, and then she took the advice that advanced her goal of getting you prepared for this day and the future.
And now that it is all over, you know, Aaron, that you can achieve big things. Difficult things, with lots of help, of course, but you can achieve them in your own way, with your own ideas, and in ways that people advise you cannot, or more often should not, be done. So that is our message to you, Aaron. It's okay for you to do things your own way, to find a different way, to get something done, and to achieve success in a way that others think isn't necessarily the right way to go. And to be frank, that is how you typically do things. Ruth, Poppy, and I could tell 100 stories of your famous Aaron shortcuts that end up costing you time and trouble, and us lots of aggravation. But despite your less than stellar shortcut history, just so you know, you will always have our support when you strike out on your own down some path of achievement. Still, the important thing Poppy and I want you to realize is that there are certain things you have to do, certain traditions you must follow, like your Bar Mitzvah. And when you're not able to, or do not want to, accomplish them in the old, ordinary way, we encourage you to get these things done in new, creative ways that work for you.
A few weeks ago, I came across a writer who was constantly challenging himself to question why we have certain traditions and what good comes from following them. One time he vowed to not lie and to speak the truth on whatever came into his mind. What could possibly be wrong with telling the truth all the time? The first time his wife asked him how she looked in her new dress, she knew he was in trouble. He said it was unquestionably the absolute worst month of his life. Another time, for an entire year, he tried to follow every single commandment of the Torah. Stoning adulterers and herding goats in New York City were especially difficult. So, obviously, this writer found that doing things the way someone demands they be done doesn't necessarily make things better. But he also found that certain important traditions need to be followed because they're easy for things. Blowing out the candles on a birthday cake certainly makes no sense. Why spend money on a bunch of candles, light them, sing a song, then immediately blow them out so your wish is granted? That makes no sense. They don't even get to burn all the way down, and they cannot be reused. What a waste. While all that may be true, no birthday is complete without blowing out the candles. It wouldn't be the same without the tradition. So we get creative with the tradition. Sometimes we use one candle for each year. Sometimes we have one candle that's a number. Other times we just use one candle to represent all the years. We even have trick candles that light themselves again. But we always have candles. That is our tradition. It makes the occasion of getting older a bit happier, a bit more hopeful. It's a good tradition.
Judaism has lots of traditions. The Bar Mitzvah ceremony is a Jewish tradition which signifies becoming an adult in the eyes of the Jewish community. You may not feel like an adult, Aaron. Honestly, how are you really that different from yesterday? You did not rent an apartment or get married or start a business, no. But having your Bar Mitzvah is a tradition that says that today, in the eyes of the Jewish community, you are an adult.
Aaron, Mom and I hope you remember how you satisfied the Bar Mitzvah tradition. You did it with candy rewards in the back of the car ready to pick up Ruth from school, with the Torah loaned to us by a kind family, and with the service book that the mom wrote herself after consulting books, rabbis, and many people around you. How you got to your Bar Mitzvah achievement today was creative and unique to you. It worked for you. One more thing. You read a bunch of commandments today, Aaron. One was to remember the Amalekites and make sure hate and prejudice do not survive. Speaking out against hate and prejudice is an especially Jewish tradition, given our people's history and our family's history in Germany and Russia.
And Aaron, you are already showing your true self to be an achiever and follow this tradition in your own creative way. As you said in your speech, you have stood up in class and told your classmates about our holidays and about your hopeless survival during the Holocaust. As you said, you do these things because you know that by telling your classmates about our differences, you lessen the amount of prejudice and misunderstanding among people at school. Standing up to hate and prejudice is not easy to do as an adult, let alone as a kid. But it is some of the most important work that we can do. It is our tradition, and you are following it in a way that works for you, is creative, and most importantly, is effective. You are blowing out the candles, and the tradition is being followed. And we could not be prouder of you.
was going to give you a lot of advice. You've got so much advice, you want to make much more from me. And of course, I wrote part of it out, so I'm not going to put it back in my pocket without reading it. That's also Jewish tradition. First of all, our family's love goes out to you every day, and especially today. Today, of course, is a very special day for you. It is also a very special day for the entire Buergenthal family. Your parents, your grandparents, your uncles and aunts, and your cousins. Today you will get away with almost anything. Who knows? You are the youngest Buergenthal grandchild, and that's an important link to the future of the Buergenthal family. That is significant because, as you heard, Nazi Germany tried in the Holocaust to murder our entire family. They almost succeeded. They killed all members of the family except my mother, your great-grandmother, and me. She survived Auschwitz and other Nazi camps, and I survived Auschwitz as well and other camps. Had she and I not survived, our Buergenthal family would not exist today. There would be no Buergenthals, no Bar Mitzvahs, no Bat Mitzvahs, no presents, oi, oi, oi. And always remember that the survival of the Buergenthal family for generations to come is only really important if those who are members are kind and generous to human beings, upright and honest, always willing to defend their beliefs, ready to contribute to the betterment of their country and their community, not to discriminate against other people of different races and religions, and to help those in need. It is up to you to live by these moral dictates, to teach them to your children and to your grandchildren. And when you do, you will do honor to the Buergenthal family and deserve the honor to be part of it. May life be blessed, may your life be blessed by happiness and love.
May God bless you and God keep you every moment, every day. May God smile at you and fill your heart in every way. May God help you find the goodness in everything you do. May you be blessed with peace from above. You can join me if you like. May God bless you and keep you every moment, every day. May God smile at you and fill your heart in every way. May God help you find the goodness in everything you do. May you be blessed with peace from above.
As we offer blessings for our children on this Shabbat, we invite all parents to join us in saying the following blessings for your children. Yivarechecha Adonai Yirishka. God bless you. Yair Adonai Panel
We thank you, Adonai, for the time we shared with our loved ones who have passed on, for our companionship with them, and for the sweet memories that we hold in our hearts and love. We We remember their kind words and their unselfish deeds. Great Poppy, Cousin Sylvia, Auntie Sharon, Cousin Connie, and Ray. I invite with you to share the names of all who we now remember. Great-grandma Ruth, great-grandma Poppy. Any others? Everyone, please rise as we recite the morning prayers. May our loved ones endure as a living influence among us. Let us remember them as we recite the morning Scottish. Since the times of Joshua, the Jewish people have sung some version of the Aleinu, praising Adonai as our God, as master of all things, and that Adonai is one. As we sing this prayer, we rejoice in being chosen, while rejecting words that disparage others. We bend the knees and bow to remind us of these practices once used in the days of worship in the temple over 2,500 years ago. Please stand as we sing the Aleinu together. Aleinu v'shaber al-Vadon ha'kol, v'atech b'lav yoseh b'reshit, shelo asam v'kayeh ha'araso, v'lo samam yukim v'shavot ha'adama, shelo samnake yukahem, v'lo aleinu, v'lo amanam, v'anachnu korim, u'nishavim Elohim,
leave, you can't leave the way you came in. You gotta go up this way towards the back, circle around left, and then you can get out both hands and go right or left. If you don't do that, you're gonna get stuck. Trust me, I've done that. Also, for the party tonight, those of you who meet the party, there is plenty of parking. Right across the street is a big parking complex. It will say the I Center or I, you'll see it. You can't miss it. It's less than 1 block from the place. Having a good word, it's not going to rain anymore, so you can park there and walk right over. There's no parking on the street, so don't try. It won't work. Okay?
All right, Aaron, take it away. A couple more prayers.